There is a lot of mystery surrounding Alastor. We know that he is a demon in hell and that, when he was alive, he was a serial killer. However, there is a possibility that he was once an angel. I know that this sounds crazy, but there are some things that support this idea. In Season 1, Episode 8, Alastor sings this.
Once I figure out how to unclip my wings.
The phrase clipping someone's wings refers to restricting someone's freedom, and it originates from the real-life practice of clipping birds' wings so that they cannot fly. Obviously, Alastor saying that he wants to unclip his wings means that his freedom has been restricted because of his deal, and he wants to regain his freedom by getting out of the deal. However, could there also be a double meaning? Could the use of this particular phrase also indicate that Alastor is or was an angel? Interestingly enough, Alastor is the name of a demon mentioned in the Dictionnaire Infernal, which is a book on demonology from the 1800s. So, it is very likely that the Hazbin Hotel character is based on the myth of the demon Alastor. This is what the Dictionnaire Infernal says about the demon Alastor. It's in French, and this is the translation. It mentions that the demon named Alastor was the executioner of hell, and it says that he is sometimes called or said to be the same as Azazel. Azazel is a demon mentioned in the Bible and is often thought to be a fallen angel. Azazel is portrayed as a fallen angel in the Book of Enoch, a famous ancient Jewish apocalyptic text. And he is also portrayed as an angel in other ancient texts. The Dictionnaire Infernal also likens Alastor to a destroying angel. So, if the demon Alastor in demonology was said to be a fallen angel, perhaps Alastor in Hazbin Hotel is also a fallen angel. Another reason I think that Hazbin Alastor was based on the Alastor in the Dictionnaire Infernal is because Alastor in the Dictionnaire Infernal was the executioner. His whole thing was killing people, and Alastor in Hazbin Hotel was a serial killer. Now, in Hazbin Hotel, we of course know that Alastor was human. Mimsy said she knew him in life, and tidbits about his life have been revealed, like how he was a serial killer when he was alive. So, I propose that Alastor was a human, he died, and became an angel, a winner, and then he fell to hell. If heaven-born angels like Lucifer can fall, surely winners can too. But how could a serial killer go to heaven? Well, we know that heaven is a bit corrupt and that their systems are flawed, so it's not impossible. And consider that we don't know why Alastor was a serial killer, or even who he was killing. In fact, Vivzipop, the creator of Hazbin Hotel, actually said in this video that Alastor didn't go after just anyone, and that he has a weird moral code. And she also said that Alastor is more like the fictional serial killer Dexter than any real serial killer in real life. So, if Alastor is like Dexter, then let's look at the character of Dexter. In the novels and the TV show, Dexter is actually a vigilante serial killer who hunts murderers who evaded the justice system, and who he is absolutely certain were guilty. This also links to how the name Alastor was originally a title of Zeus, with Alastor meaning avenger. And so Zeus was called Zeus Alastor because he was the god of justice and avenged people. So Alastor may have only killed genuinely horrible people. Perhaps killing awful people is seen as good in heaven's eyes, as it prevented those people from harming other people. Something to support this is this official Hazbin Hotel comic. The comic is quite old and is no longer up on the Hazbin Hotel website, so it may no longer entirely be canon, but it is a very interesting look into the character of Alastor. In it, there is a scene where Alastor witnesses a butcher sinner holding down and attempting to hurt a woman. Alastor saves the woman and kills the butcher. Anyway, if Alastor did indeed only kill terrible people and got into heaven because of it, then the premise of the show would be an interesting sort of dilemma for him. He likely didn't believe in redemption for people he killed who he saw as evil, but now he is being forced to help try and redeem those very people. Perhaps he doesn't want to believe redemption is possible for such people, because then he'd have to acknowledge that he was wrong to kill them. But there could be another reason for Alastor's attitude towards redemption. In the pilot, Charlie asks Alastor if he thinks that redemption is possible, and he says no very firmly.
No. I don't think there's anything left that could save such loathsome sinners. The chance given was the life they lived before. The punishment is this. There is no undoing what is done.
If Alastor was once an angel, he would know that no sinner has been redeemed or made it to heaven. Or at least, no sinner that the angels are aware of. Him being so sure that sinners cannot be redeemed could be because he believes he knows all that there is to know about going to heaven. However, there is also something very curious in the way he answers Charlie. He speaks of the sinners as if they are separate to him, as if he was not included. He does not say, the chance given was the life we lived. He says that the chance given was the life they lived. It is very peculiar that Alastor does not include himself in with the sinners when talking about the possibility of redemption. And I believe that it could indicate that he is a fallen angel, that he was once a winner. He sees himself as above sinners because he made it to heaven. But if Alastor was an angel, a winner, how did he come to be a demon in hell? Well, there's a good chance that it's related to the deal he made. I made this video theorizing about who Alastor made a deal with, but in this video I'm going to suggest that this deal Alastor made potentially involved him exchanging places with someone in hell. Charlie believes that many people in hell deserve a second chance, and the show is leading us to believe that many sinners do not deserve to be in hell. So, an interesting plot point would be if Alastor's mother ended up in hell while he ended up in heaven, and he made a deal to trade places with her. He does mention his mother in the pilot, and someone who once worked on the show said that Alastor is a mama's boy. To conclude, I believe that it is possible that Alastor used to be an angel, because of how he said he wanted to unclip his wings, and because the demon he seems to be named after is said to be Azazel, who is a fallen angel in various texts. Despite being a serial killer, Alastor may have gone to heaven when he died, partly because he only killed awful people, and partly because heaven's system is a bit screwed up. However, he ended up falling and going to hell, possibly because he made a deal, which may have involved him switching places with his mother in hell. I do also want to note that, while it may seem odd for Hazbin Hotel to do another angel reveal, since they already revealed that Vaggie was a fallen angel, I think it really could work with Alastor, as it would be a very different scenario. Vaggie was never human. She was always an angel. She was an exterminator, not a winner. And Vaggie didn't choose to fall. But if my theory is correct, then Alastor did choose to fall. Alastor secretly being a fallen angel would also be a great opportunity to explore his backstory, his motivations, who he was when he was alive. I know that a lot of people are probably expecting Alastor to be completely evil and to turn on Charlie But the show's message is all about redemption, so I don't think Alastor being irredeemable is the most likely outcome. Feel free to like and subscribe.